Let's see. Let's watch one more video about Iran. We're gonna turn to Fox
And we
News.
begin this Sunday.
So this is from one day ago, so Sunday, I suppose. I think there's some interesting stuff in here. Um, but this is Leavitt, the spokesperson for the Trump administration. She's going to be on Fox News, which I'm not a big fan of Fox News, but Fox News can be pretty funny sometimes in terms of like uh, content because they're like so unhinged and they're really like they go full state, you know, like state news or whatever, like Dear Leader style North Korea shit with Donald Trump. Um, so let's watch this video about Fox or by Fox News. Combat ineffective. Leavitt says Iranian Navy is completely wiped out. Let's find out.
Monday morning with the war on Iran escalating, just as Secretary of War
Epic
Pete
Fortnite
Hegseth
Chungus.
warned on Friday. The amount of firepower above Iran is about to surge dramatically on this day 9 of Operation Epic Fury, even as Iran's leadership has already been wiped out and its military capabilities degraded. Following U.S. and Israeli strikes, President Trump says there will be no deal with Iran without
No deal.
unconditional complete surrender.
The art of no
Even
deal.
as Iran continues to lash out at neighboring Gulf countries and maritime traffic through the Strait of Hormuz grinds nearly to a halt, pushing the price of oil higher. The Trump administration has enacted a $20 billion reinsurance program for oil tankers and other ships to get traffic
I'm sure it'll
moving
work.
once again through this vital
I'm
work.
sure that everybody's gonna want to like have American military assets just nice and slowly escort an oil tanker right out of this little choke point. Wait, what's this country right here? What's this right here? I think that's Iran? Wait, is that the country we're at war with? Wait, I'm not going through here. What are you crazy? Like, if any oil tanker takes us up on that, like they are signing up to get their shit rocked.
Waterway, where 20% of the world's oil is transported every day. Crude oil closed above $90 a barrel on Friday. It is up 27% just in the
I think it's
last
over 100
1
now
week
at least.
as China feels the impact. It buys the bulk of Iran's oil. Some 90% China buys from Iran. Now, political strategists are worrying whether the war and its impact will
Oh,
collide.
that's another reason that China is probably going to materially support Iran if it gets to a bad point. If they think like there's real risk of like collapse or something, they'll probably get a little bit more involved. I don't think they'll, engage in acts of war, but I think they will materially support it more.
With the president's efforts to rein in inflation just before the midterm elections, where the economy and affordability is most important to voters.
My burger,
Joining me now
so
with the Sunday Morning
expensive.
Futures exclusive is the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitte.
Caroline
It's
Leavitte,
great
that's
to
her
have you this
first
morning.
name.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Maria. Great to see you.
And of course, as the impact of this war is affecting American citizens and consumers through the
Oof. You see this? You see this in the banner down here, right to the left of Operation Epic Fury? Do you see that little star right there? That little star that they just placed on the American flag? I got news for everybody out there. That little star, that Israeli flag, that little icon, that is going to slowly start to get bigger and bigger. It's going to get bigger and bigger until eventually you see all those 50 stars on in the upper left of our flag. They're all just going to get like engulfed. They're going to get engulfed by the Israeli star, and we're just going to replace all of the stars with the Israeli star. Like, why? Why 50 star? Why 50 star when you can have one star? The Israeli Star of David. We will change our flag for them. We will be the United States of Israel. It'll happen, people.
increase in the price of oil. The president needs to walk a balance here. What is the president expecting to do to rein in those prices right now where we are watching and waiting for those midterm elections in November?
Ugh, that eyeliner. Sorry.
Well, the president is watching everything, both abroad through the demolition of the rogue Iranian regime through Operation
This is disgusting,
Epic.
by the way. This right here. The bombing like the oil or like wherever it's getting all this like I heard there's like acid rain and stuff now. It's just it's going to be an environmental disaster.
Fury, and of course here at home. And President Trump can walk and chew gum at the same time. You saw him this past
I'm
week
not
at
sure.
the White House hosting a ratepayer protection pledge roundtable with big tech companies, AI companies, to talk about how they are picking up the cost of electricity bills across the country and American communities to drive down costs. The president inherited the worst affordability crisis in our nation's history from Joe Biden, and look at the progress he has made in the course of the past year. Now, with respect to what's happening with gas prices right now, this is a short-term disruption for the long-term gain of
She got the
taking out
talking points.
rogue Iranian.
Does that sound familiar to anybody? If you were around from the beginning of the stream, you might have heard that somewhere.
Terrorist regime, and finally ending their restriction of the free flow of energy in the Middle East and in the Strait of Hormuz. And even with this short-term period throughout Operation Epic Fury, the president and his energy team are on the ball. They've announced political risk insurance for cargo vessels and oil ships that are going to be moving through the strait. They've announced that the U.S. Navy, if and when necessary, will escort those tankers to ensure that oil can move. The president is also tapping into our newfound market in Venezuela, where, again, there were a lot of panic-ins about that military operation, and look at the success. We are working in a cooperative...
The Panikin name is not good. They need to come up with something better. Panikins, like that, it sounds like you're trying to say like pelican or something. They need a new word. That one, it's not doing it for me. I'm sorry, Trump. You're usually pretty good at this. I don't like the Panikin
manner with the interim authorities to bring that oil into the market as expeditiously as possible. And so again, this is a short-term disruption. We're seeing a slight increase in oil and gas prices, but ultimately taking out the rogue Iranian regime is going to be a good thing for the oil industry, and those prices are going to come back down just like they have over the course of the past year because of President Trump's American energy dominance agenda.
We all feel it. We all feel like we were so great. We were so great economically before this, and I'm sure this is after this we're gonna be so tired of winning. So tired of winning.
I know that this was a major priority for the president right off the bat, coming up with that reinsurance plan in terms of ensuring that you can get traffic moving at a regular pace once again in the Strait of Hormuz. But
any oil tanker who takes that deal is like a sucker. Like I'm gonna be honest, like you're probably gonna get your shit rocked if you take that deal. Like if you take on that. Also, all of that money, by the way, we're paying for that. That's our tax money that is going to help pay for that. And also all of these, escort missions. How much do they cost? Like an hour, like $1 billion. Like, okay. Great.
Executives are telling me
that'll be great for the economy, I'm sure.
That more security is needed. So we want to understand specifically when we might see a let up here. It feels like the Iranians are threatening the U.S., saying, yeah, come to the Strait. We welcome you to actually ramp up the fight.
Well, the Iranians are making a lot of threats with their words, but if you look at their actions with respect to their military, they're not as strong or powerful as they were 9 days ago. That is for sure. We have completely wiped out their Navy. Their Navy is now deemed combat.
Dude, they keep talking about this. Who cares about their Navy? Were they using their Navy to like engage in this? Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe they were. I really don't know like why they keep talking about the Navy so much. Their entire thing is ballistic missiles. Like that's their whole thing, and drones. Like that's all they have been building like over the past like 10 years. Like it's literally their only thing.
Ineffective. Their retaliatory strikes with ballistic missiles has decreased 90%, and as their attacks are decreasing, the power and prowess of the U.S. military is increasing. And so we are going to continue to completely obliterate the rogue Iranian regime and ensure that they can never possess a nuclear weapon, that their ballistic missiles can no longer threaten U.S. personnel and our assets in the region.
What's gonna like? unless we put boots on the ground, there's not going to be any regime change. So unless they commit to that, then like, which they probably will, because we always do, and the neocons will love it, the neoliberals will love it. Like, unless they put boots on the ground, there's nothing we can fucking do. Like, and even if we put boots on the ground, it'll just be another Taliban situation where we, prop up some fake government for as long as we stay there for at the cost of like billions of dollars a year or whatever, and then when we leave, then it just collapses, and then the same old people take charge again. Like, I don't know, this is just, they wish they try so hard to project the image of victory, and that image of victory, like, will slowly deteriorate. Like, they did this with Iraq too. Operation Shock and Awe. They said, oh, like, everything's going great. Look at how much destruction we're waging. Look at everything. We're killing so many people. Look at how good we're doing. And then inevitably, once the bodies start coming back, once the coffins start coming back, people start to think, I don't know, are we actually winning? Same with Vietnam. The same thing happened. It's a tale as old as time. It's just Americans refuse to ever learn anything from history. That's why I do my Sunday streams of doing historical analysis, because people need to learn some shit.
And the mere fact that Iran is now pointing their capabilities at their Gulf partners in the region who have tried to remain neutral and at peace with them for many years, they're targeting civilians. It just underscores the point that this operation was necessary, not just to protect the American people and our assets and troops and bases in the region, but also to ensure a truly safe and prosperous Middle East for the rest of the.
They warned them a million times. They said, if you have military assets, if you're hosting American military bases on your country, we will attack you if America attacks us. That's what they said. They didn't start this. They didn't do the preemptive strike that I wanted them to do, okay? They didn't preemptive strike Israel like I wanted them to. But so they are purely reacting. They are reacting to America. And I don't know. They said exactly what they would do. The Gulf states knew exactly what they would do. They took that risk anyway, and so they have to kind of live with those consequences.
The world. And President Trump is the first president in nearly 5 decades to actually have the courage to do this, and he should be commended for it.
Yeah, and the president had an interesting exchange on Air Force One over the weekend, Caroline. I want to get your take about this idea of troops on the ground.
Ooh, let's hear about this.
Mothers out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their
sons
and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about...
I know whose sons and daughters won't get involved if there's a draft. Every member of Congress, every member of the Senate, everyone of political power, every billionaire, every 100 millionaire, none of their children will go to war. Unless they are a cretin who, like, wants to become president someday, like Pete Buttigieg or JD Vance. They are not going to go to war. And so it'll be all the poor people that we send into the meat grinder, as it always is.
About the president's plans for troops on the...
Also, by the way, definitely be a conscientious objector. If you have to go, if your choice is going to Iran to die for the state of Israel, like the fascist Nazi state of Israel, or be a conscientious objector and get, I don't know, thrown in jail for a year or whatever it is. I don't know what the actual consequences of it, but whatever they are, I will take it. If they do this shit.
Ground, as we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now.
Mm-hmm. It has been, and it will continue to be, and President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table. I know a lot of politicians like to do that quickly, but the president, as commander-in-chief, wants to continue to assess the success of this military operation. It's not part of the current plan right now, but the president, again, wisely keeps his options on the table. But as commander-in-chief, there's no greater priority or responsibility to this president than, of course, protecting the American people and protecting our troops and our bases in the Middle East, which Iran has been threatening for 47.
Sorry, I missed a little bit of that. I'm going to go back just a little bit.
again, wisely keeps his options on the table. But as commander-in-chief, there's no greater priority or responsibility to this president than, of course, protecting the American people and protecting our troops and our bases in the Middle East, which Iran has been.
Okay. If that's his most important priority, then he's really fucking up. Like, our bases are getting obliterated. Like, our tax dollars are just being, like, I don't know, like, firebombed into oblivion. Like, they are being destroyed. They are being Thanos snapped in out of existence. Like, all of our tax dollars that we put into these bases in the Middle East are just being, like, wrecked. And so if that is his top priority, like, he's really fucking up.
Been threatening for 47 years. They have killed and maimed thousands of American soldiers, and President Trump was not going to allow Iran to attack
Iran
our
has?
bases and our troops and our men and women in the Middle East first. And that's why he took this historic action by launching Operation Epic Fury.
Epic
Yeah,
Fortnite.
the president is also trying to protect elections. So in the middle of all of this, he is talking about the SAVE Act, Caroline. And I want to put up this tweet that the president put out yesterday. Over the weekend, he's been talking about the SAVE Act. And in this tweet, not only does he reiterate the point that you have to have ID to vote, all voters must show voter ID, all voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote, no mail-in ballot.
See, this is just an admission. This is just an admission that he knows that, like, he's going to lose, especially with, when we get to the midterms and the Iran war has been, like, ongoing for, like, what, 5-6 months at that point. And and, like, I don't know, there's been maybe a hundred military people who have died, like, and everybody's like, what the fuck are we getting out of this? Why are we going to war with Israel? Like, he's just like, okay, well, we can't win over the voters, so what can we do? Oh, I know. The thing that we always do as Republican: disenfranchise.
Ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travels. But he also adds to this two more items. No men in women's sports, no transgender mutilation surgery for children.
Dude, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. Oh my God, dude, I hate this. Why do we have to keep living through this? Why do they keep trying to bring it back every single election cycle? They keep trying the anti-trans shit, and it's like, it's just so annoying. It didn't work before. Like, they went back to the drawing board. They got the no men and women's sport, which I guess, like, okay, people, like, kind of agreed with. But eventually there's going to be a material conditions that, like will make it so people are unable to care about these culture war nonsense issues. Like, who cares if men are in women's sports? It's fucking sports. We're at war with Iran. Nobody can afford to, like, buy groceries. Like, if you break your bone in America and you're uninsured, then you're basically destitute for the rest of your life. All of our children have to borrow hundreds of $1,000s just to get a higher education. Like, this shit does not matter. It's pointless. It's stupid. Like, I don't know, man. This is ridiculous.
You've got to explain this to us, because already the president is getting pushback from Democrats. They say this is dead on arrival. Why would the president want to muddy up this issue and add transgenderism and no men in women's sports right now, when the issue of all voters getting proof of citizenship has already been accepted by some Democrats, like John Fetterman?
They really need to, like, I get really mad at, like, when news people like this choose to, like, use the word allegedly or not, or, like, couch their language. Like, they always say, like, allegedly, Iran alleges that Israel may have potentially targeted this one water salination plant or whatever. And then when when it's the other way around, they're like, Iran 100% targeted this school building and killed these children or something. Or, like, Iran 100% targeted this hotel in order to kill these, like, 10 civilians or whatever. And, like, I think that we really need to, like, either use it appropriately or not. Like, they should be using like allegedly Democrat when they're talking about Fetterman. Like he is not a Democrat. He is just a Republican. Like I think that like he like I guess has a D next to his name, but he is literally like a right-wing Fox News goon at this point. Like
There should be no pushback to any of the common sense proposals in the Save America Act. Let's talk about what is in this bill and what President Trump is pushing for here. Mandatory voter ID in the United States of America.
They're just trying to disenfranchise people. I don't care about this anymore. The real reason that I wanted to watch this is to talk about the idea of getting drafted to go die for the nation state of Israel. Like, like I don't know. Like please, people, let's look it up real quick. Conscientious objection, America. Let's see. Let's see if Wikipedia has anything to say. Um, do they have like consequences? Consequences. Let's find out together. You can apply for it. So you can apply for it, go through a process. Okay. Okay. Well, so look, it's not even like you go to jail, like apparently. I'm just reading this right now. And I'm sure that they will probably change all that in the future, but conscientious objectors opposed to serving in the military will be placed in the Selective Service Alternative Service Program. This program attempts to match COs with local employers. Many types of jobs are available. However, the job must be deemed to make a meaningful contribution to the maintenance of national health, safety, and interests. Examples of alternative service are jobs in conservation, caring for the very young or very old, education, healthcare. Length of service in the program will be equal the amount of time a man would have served in the military, usually 24 months. Everybody listen to me closely right now. If your choices are to either go die to the, like for the state of Israel and Iran, or go engage in some conservation efforts, caring for the old or the young, go teach some people at a school, or go help people in the healthcare industry. Like, pick the obvious choice. Don't go die for a fucking racist Nazi country. Just go help people in your own country. Become a conscientious objector. I thought the punishment would be a lot worse than that, than just like doing, I don't know, community service for the country. Like, dude, that's shit that I do in my free time. Like, what are you talking about? You're gonna, okay, whatever. Sorry.